Hey everyone, welcome back. We are in full swing to spooky mode for Halloween this year. So I have some Pottery Barn Halloween dupes that I made from mostly Dollar Tree items. If you're new here and you like home decor and DIYs on a budget, stick around by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications so you never miss out on a new video. All right, let's get into it. For this first dupe, I went with Doug the Dog Ghost Pillow for $89.50. I thought I could recreate him for a lot less. I couldn't find a stuffed dog at Dollar Tree to use, so I went to the thrift store and found this one for $3.99. Now, he did have a Christmas theme with his Santa hat and the bells, so I just went ahead and removed that Santa hat just by snipping the thread around its head. I removed the tag also, and then again, I removed those bells. And then to make him a ghost, I used this microfiber towel that you can find in the auto section at Dollar Tree. And I just draped it over the top of him. And then I'm going to go ahead and use some scissors and I'm going to find where his ears are. And then I just snipped a little hole, just a tiny one, to pull his ears through. So I did that on the one side, and then I came around on the other side and did the same thing. And then for the eyes, I basically did the same thing. I just felt through the towel where the eyes were, and then I snipped where that was. And then I just kind of made it a little bit bigger with my finger, so that way it wasn't too big. And now I want that towel to stay around his eyes so it doesn't move. So I flipped it over and used a little bit of hot glue just around the eyes. And then I flipped the towel back over, and then I'm just hot gluing that around the eyeball so that way it just kind of stays in place so the towel doesn't move around. And you can see the eyes a lot better that way. I did the same thing to the other eye. And again, you just want to snip just a little bit so that way you're not making your hole too big, and then use your finger to make it a little bit bigger. And then again, just using that hot glue around the eye and then placing the towel back over and then pushing it down in place. Now for the nose, I basically did the same thing. I felt where the nose was. I made a couple little slits where that nose was and made the nose stick out. But I wanted the whole mouth to stick out as well. So I had to just kind of work with that and cut a little bit bigger as I went to make that mouth stick out of the hole. And then I went ahead and did this to the tail on the back of the dog. So I did the same thing like I did with the ears. I just felt around underneath the towel where the tail was. And then I took my scissors and snipped the towel a little bit and then pulled the tail through. Now on the sides of my dog, the towel doesn't go all the way to the ground. So I just went ahead and added a dab of hot glue to keep the towel together, and then kind of tucked in underneath those ears a little bit. And I think that gave it more of a ghost-like figure, and then it also held it all together. Lastly, I took these little pumpkin jack-o'-lantern containers, and I'm just gonna go ahead and hot glue it to his mouth so it looks like he's holding the little jack-o'-lantern. And I think this turned out so adorable, and I'm so proud of it. It was definitely a lot less than the Pottery Barn one. It's a different look, but it still turned out super adorable. For this next Pottery Barn dupe, I'm going to be making these lit book decor, spooky book decor that was $49.50 from Pottery Barn. So I went to Dollar Tree and I picked up 4 books that were the similar height difference that the books were on Pottery Barn. I just removed the covers from them. And now I'm going to go ahead and take some black spray paint, and I'm just going to spray paint the covers of the books to make them all black, like the ones that Pottery Barn had. And then I need to hot glue the books together so that way they stay in a stack. You don't have to do this, but I just decided it was probably easiest to do it this way. So I just hot glued the books with the 2 smallest ones on the outside, kind of like the picture of the Pottery Barn. So next, I wanted to kind of weather the pages of the books a little bit more. So I took a lighter and I just singed the edges of the pages of the books. So you definitely want to be careful when you do this. Make sure that you have some water near, so that way you're not lighting the whole book on fire, because you just want the edges, because that's all you're going to see of the book, to be lit. So I just went around and did this to all of the books. It was a little time consuming. I did add, you can see here, the black spray paint. I didn't cover the edges of the books when I spray painted them, so there's some black spray paint on the pages. I also took some brown to kind of weather it a little bit more and paint those pages just on the outside, just to kind of make everything look a little more old and worldly. Then after I did that, I did come back with some sandpaper, and I sanded all of the edges of the book pages. And I think that really helped kind of tie everything together. It made everything just look a little bit more worn and torn. And I think it just made it look kind of more like the Pottery Barn one did. And this is all optional. If you don't want it to look weathered, you don't have to do this to the pages. And then as for the wording, I thought I had a paint pen, but I did not have a white paint pen. So I went in with just this white chalk marker from Dollar Tree, and I wrote the wording onto the sides of the books. I just looked at the picture on Pottery Barn and kind of just tried to match it as best as I could. It wasn't perfect, but you can tell on the Pottery Barn ones, the writing really wasn't perfect on that either. So I did it on the front of the books as well. And then it did have a witch on the front of the Pottery Barn's books. So I sketched out a witch. I just looked up silhouette of a witch on Google, and then I just looked at that and then went in and tried to draw the silhouette onto the book. So I sketched it onto the book with a pencil, did the best I could. It was actually pretty easy to do with a pencil, which was nice. But then when it came time to fill it all in with the white paint, I didn't like how it looked. My brush wasn't small enough, and I didn't have a good enough brush to fill it in with all white paint. So I went back with that chalk marker and just outlined it this way. And I think it looks okay. You know, it's a little bit bigger of a witch than what the Pottery Barn had, but I think it still works, and you can kind of get the resemblance of it. And then lastly, all I needed to do was place the lights inside the book. So I just had these battery operated fairy lights from Amazon. They came in like a pack of 20. I had them a long time ago, so I had a few left. And all I'm doing is just winding the lights around the pages, the top pages of the books, and hot gluing them into the pages a little bit, so that way they stay right on top of the book so you can see them. And I'm just doing that all the way to the end of the books. And then I just glued the battery pack to the bottom of the books with some hot glue. And that was it. They turned out really cute. They aren't perfect. They definitely look a little bit different than the Pottery Barn ones, of course, but they were a lot less to make. And I still think they give off that spooky Halloween effect. This next Pottery Barn dupe, I found this lit glitter cone tree for $30.97 for the large one. They do have small and medium ones too for different prices. I just made the large one this time around. I just took a piece of black poster board, and I'm going to start at one of the corners and then just fold it over until I get a cone shape, and then I hot glued the edge down so my cone shape stayed. And then I just cut the bottom of my cone off so that way it would stand up a little bit better. And obviously took the price tag off. I didn't get this poster board from Dollar Tree. I ended up getting it from Meijer, but it was the same price. It was $1.25 from Meijer as well. So now what I'm going to do to make this a little bit look a little bit more high end is I'm going to take some twine, and I just started at the top of the cone and I hot glued it, and then I just started wrapping the twine around the cone all the way down until I got to the end. I did use 2 spools of twine for this. So this right here is the last spool of twine. I just hot glued the end down. And then what was left over after I got through the 2 spools of twine, I just went ahead and cut off the excess cardboard so that way I didn't have to use another spool of twine. And now I'm going to go ahead and spray paint the whole tree black. I would have used black twine, but Dollar Tree didn't have it, so spray paint worked in a pinch. And after that was dried, I took this glitter twig garland from Dollar Tree, and it is very glittery. You can see how the glitter just kind of fell all off of the garland as I was wrapping it around the tree. But I just stuck the top part in the top of the tree, and then I just wrapped it all the way around the tree until I got to the bottom, and then hot glued the bottom inside the tree. And then I did take some of those pieces of twig and kind of hot glue them around the tree so they would kind of stay in place. And then I did take another piece of garland and wrap that around. So there's 2 pieces of garland on here. I just didn't show that extra thing. I did basically the same thing I did with the first one. And then lastly, to make it light up, I used another pack of these battery operated lights, and I just stuck it in the top and winded it all the way around, and then hot glued the battery pack on the inside. And I think this turned out really pretty. I think it definitely resembles the Pottery Barn one, and it was a lot less to make this. I definitely think I'm going to make the medium and the small one also. For this next Pottery Barn dupe, I chose this lit stacked hammered jack-o'-lantern pumpkins for $98.97. Now, I ended up using the stacking pumpkins from Five Below that were $7 because the faces were already cut out to make them look like jack-o'-lanterns. You can use the ones from Dollar Tree and cut your own faces out. I just chose to use these for the same price. Now I'm going to spray paint them with this Fusion hammered spray paint. I got this at Lowe's in like a copper color for the inside and then black for the outside. So right now I am spraying the black on the outside of the pumpkins, and you can see that it goes on like this is just a one coat. It goes on kind of glittery. It's kind of weird. And it doesn't really, it kind of has a hammered effect when it's done, but it also doesn't. So it's okay, but I could have just used black spray paint, regular black spray paint and regular copper spray paint, I think, and it probably would have gave me the same effect. But either way, I used this and it still turned out really nice. I spray painted the inside with the coppered hammered color, and that was kind of difficult to do. I did that after I spray painted the black so that way I could touch up the black, which actually that worked out good, but it was hard to spray paint. So actually it would probably be easier to go in and paint with a paintbrush on the inside. So if I ever do this again, that's what I would do. And then to make them light up, I'm just using these battery operated tea lights from Dollar Tree. I just used 3 of them, one under the first one under the second one, and one under the last one. And that was it. I think these turned out really cute, even if they don't have the hammered effect necessarily. They still look good, and they were a lot less than the Pottery Barn ones, so I will take that. And they look cute and spooky for Halloween. Lastly, I found this skeleton candle holder on Pottery Barn's website for $20.97 on clearance. So I wanted to try to recreate something like that. So I got these salad tongs from Dollar Tree in the black color. And I already did one hand, so I'm showing you how I'm doing the second hand. I just took my heat gun and I'm basically just making it heat to the wrist of the skeleton hand, and then once it's heated up, you can make it bend. So you just kind of have to push on it and it will bend the way you like it. And then I'm going to use these taper candle holders from Dollar Tree that I found because they have a flat base, and I want to make them so that way the hand kind of holds the candle part, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the arm or wrist, whatever, off a little bit. So I just marked it where I wanted it, and I used my saw and cut off the arm of them. You could use a jigsaw or heat tool or whatever to cut them off. Just make sure when you heat up this plastic that you're doing it in a well-ventilated area with a mask on. And then all I'm going to do is hot glue the bottom and the sides and the wrist to the side of the candlestick, and then that way it gives it some stability. So if you're going to use real candles or anything in this, you definitely still can. And then I spray painted everything with some black spray paint, and that was it. I think these turned out really cute. They were only a few dollars to make. I put some battery operated candles in them, and I love how they turned out. I think these would look perfect for a Halloween tablescape. They would look spooky and elegant all at the same time. Thank you for watching today. I hope you got some spooky inspiration for some Halloween decor this year. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.